What's going on? Welcome back to the KW podcast. Joined again by Mr. Kuro Blessed.
That's me.
Okay, check him out at Blessed Gaming. Give him a
Yo,
subscribe.
you're not gonna link my
a
Twitch,
like.
bro? Come on, bro. I'm a
And
Twitch
Twitch.
streamer now.
What is it? What thingy on Nietzsche? What is it?
Blessed Oni-chan.
Blessed
Get it
Oni-chan.
right. Oni-chan.
Yo, people aren't even gonna know how to spell that.
Oh, people know how to spell Oni-chan. Trust me, I know
bro,
those.
that's-
Oh, I know those. Oh, I know
That's
you know how to
fudge,
spell
man.
Oni-chan. You
Anyway,
guys spelled it one.
check out his Twitch, Blessed Oni-chan. Check out my Twitch, KDMMAV20. Got some content coming up that I'm excited to
Fresh.
share. Some fresh stuff. Gonna have Century, Edge of Ashes going up there. Gonna have I might do Black Desert there too.
No, I might do it if I start the new character just for bands.
Yeah, I think you know what. Yeah,
Bands.
that's yeah. I'm gonna do Black Desert on Twitch, showing my starting off process and my grinding process in the beginning. See how far I can get in like 2 hours. Okay, let's go.
The strongest muscle in the body is the tongue. Ladies, you're welcome.
I can't believe you said that. I think
You know, it's kind of if you want. I mean, well, come on, mate. You know, it's just all about practice and training, ain't it?
I think did I hear about this? The strongest muscle in the body is the tongue.
I mean, it makes sense in a certain way. That's a bit weird. I don't even know where that came from.
Where did you see this?
Don't know. Someone messaged to me a while ago, and it was like, okay, don't know what to do with that fact. To be honest, it's a bit of a doozy. Like, is that a hint? Is that a wink wink moment, or is it just a random fact to start the conversation?
So hang on, is the tongue the strongest? The tongue is an essential, often playful part of human and playful.
Oh yeah, it is.
Playful. What do you mean? I described it as playful. Made of us.
They
grow
know
up-
it's like me. They're not wrong, are they? It's a
I mean,
playful
yeah.
part of the human anatomy.
Shit. Like you mess around with your tongue a lot, I guess. You believe in the.
Oh yeah, you
that
do.
The tongue is the strongest muscle in the body, but is it really?
This is my favorite
Sure,
fact
it's-
of the week.
Nah, I thought so. Hey, here we go. Here we go. Believe that's assumption that the tongue is the strongest muscle in the body, but is it really? The
Oh,
short
it
answer
definitely is.
no.
It can make people drop, both
Yeah,
male
oi,
and female.
Oi, oi, oh no! All right, the strongest muscle based on its weight is the. Oh man, I'm not gonna pronounce this right. Masseter, masseter. It's this one in your jaw. So it closes.
Oh,
Together,
they go
it
hand
can
in
close
hand.
the teeth with a force great as 55 pounds, 25 kilograms, my guy.
They do go
Boom.
hand in hand, the jaw and the tongue.
That's have you seen those people who bite? They like bite those things on a rope and then like hang from a height with just grabbing on with their teeth.
All teeth.
Just no, thank you.
Oh, that is. I mean, hey, I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, so it's just like that one that's like jaw to skull and holds on like. That's
Hey, I
calm.
mean, the-
That's calm. We learned something. That's good.
Learn something new every day.
That was very informative. You see, we do bring you facts. We do bring you knowledge.
Facts. Wink, wink. Wink, wink.
We always make sure to back up those facts.
Wink, wink. Don't know what
Now you know the tongue isn't the strongest muscle,
Technically, it's still quite strong.
but it's relatively strong, I guess. I mean, like, because I think about like lifting force and stuff. Like, if I was like to tie a string to my tongue with a heavy weight, I couldn't lift it. I'll be there like I couldn't lift it.
Mama's thinking of lifting weights with his tongue and jaw. Just
Yeah.
lift them with your arms, bro. I think of lifting weights.
Because
I'm
we're
thinking-
talking about tongue strength, bro.
Exactly, it has its strength, so it definitely does.
Yes,
Also has its
but
weaknesses.
I'm talking about
You throw some spice on that bad boy. Weakness. You throw something strength.
I'm gonna swiftly move on from this conversation and get into our topic of the day, which is, and then cuts the video here. And when we have the topic, I'm gonna cut that into there. What's the topic? And we are ready.
And Polo.
All right, we had some technical difficulties, but technical difficulties have been handled, and we're getting right into it. Again, I have to warn you, some crazy stuff is gonna be said, and I'm gonna agree with some stuff here and there. Let's go.
Here live, he's agreeing with some crazy stuff.
Here we go.
I'm here because I'm sick and tired of giving money to kids. I don't feel are mine.
My ex-husband can think whatever he wants about me, but the fact that he's doing this to our own children breaks my heart, and he's just a rancid human being. I know he's the father of my children, and he needs to take responsibility.
Okay.
All right, so did you hear that? Basically,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't believe these kids are his, that he's had with this woman.
Okay.
And he's basically coming to say, yo, I don't want to pay, I think it's called alimony.
Okay.
Child support. He doesn't want to, but I think he's paying like $400 a month, 400 or something a month to these two kids. I think they're twin girls.
Okay.
And he doesn't want to pay it. And
Okay.
although he doesn't just come and say, oh, these aren't my kids. I don't want to pay alimony. I don't want to pay child support. He says some. I'll let you guys listen.
I mean, so far, it's like, okay. I mean, depending on where the standpoint is, depending if they're his kids or not.
Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
Gianfranco Rossetti, you
Madonna.
are suing your ex-wife, Chloe.
Oh yeah, he's suing her.
Okay, now this just got mad. Like, what?
I
thought he
forgot
was
about
coming
this
here to
thing.
just stop
I
paying
forgot about
alimony.
this
Why is he
bit.
suing her now?
Because they're not his kids. He doesn't want to be paying this money. He wants this money for himself. Blah blah blah. Let's get more into it. Let's get more into it.
Why?
I think this is where he starts saying some mad stuff. Okay, so I'll reiterate. So he's come here because he doesn't want to be paying a monthly fee to these kids that he thinks are not his, so he's saying that, listen, I'm coming here to cancel that and take away that, you know, where they say it's your child, take away that paternity thingy,
Yeah.
whatever it's called, and basically renounce them as his children, and this is the reason why.
Why do you feel they're not your children?
I feel not my children because not like me. I am a model, I'm a beautiful, and the children is very, very ugly. Not like me. Don't have nothing like me. Sorry, but it's really, I
Wait a
don't
minute.
All right, so this is the premise. My guy is a model. He's very handsome, and he's renouncing these children because they're ugly, and they don't look anything like him. He also says they don't look like the mother. So they don't look like him. They don't look like the mother. They're ugly, and they're not his kids. He doesn't know. Okay, let's stop. Any thoughts so far? Any thoughts?
Something's wrong with the human race.
Bro, I was watching this and I was like, bro.
It's inconceivable, but you know, usually hot parents make hot children, but at the same time, it's like his reasoning doesn't stand so far. He's a bit.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Okay, he like, imagine your kids watching back at this. Imagine if they are his kids. Like, we don't know yet if they're his kids or not. But if they are his kids and they watch this back, and then they're like, yo, my dad thought I was ugly. Which I say for babies, I think it's calm. I think it's some babies are
all
born.
kids ugly. Like,
No. Some kids are born out.
I look at Tino and I'm like, yo, he was an ugly child.
I think some kids are born a bit, ooh, but then they get cuter. But I don't think it's too bad what he said so far. Like, yeah, my kids are a bit ugly right now, blah, blah, blah. You know, the babies, they're going to grow into their looks. Like, you know, whatever. So, but let's carry on watching and see what else my guy has to say.
Want to try.
You're being serious with me?
Yes, I'm serious. I'm
very
not a joke.
serious.
I'm professional. I'm a model. I'm serious.
And,
Sorry.
and
This is
they
not
don't
like
look like
me.
you. They're not pretty. You consider yourself handsome.
Yes. It's
And
not
the
like
children.
me.
Yo, my guy is just so straight. Like, yes,
Vanity
not like
be
me.
top tier,
Children
this
ugly.
man, though.
Not mine.
They go to my-
Why I go
I'm too
Yoda?
handsome. Shut up.
I'm handsome. I'm model. I'm very professional. No, look. Of course, I'm being serious. I'm model. They ugly. I'm like, bruh.
The wife looks in disbelief.
Bruh. Although at the same time, she's just accepting it, bro. She's just there, like, bro. Like, he's
I mean,
being
she chose to marry him. And if they are his and have children with him, it's kind of your fault. You chose someone who was, typically handsome.
her
without
reaction. Her reaction tells me that she's enabling this behavior from me. She's enabling it. She's not doing any. Like, she should be standing up for her freaking kids, man. She should be
thing
fine.
is,
Like,
she's
yo,
in
what
wrong
the
in the first place.
fuck?
Don't marry a D-head who's gonna throw your kids away because they're ugly.
Yo, why did they even get married, man? Like, yo, let's find out. Let's
Because
watch
he's a
some more.
model.
Let's find out. All right, Mr. Model. Let's hear why you married your wife and why she married you.
And they don't look like the
Yes.
mother either.
For
so
me,
not
it's
like
look
the
another
mother.
guy, another man. Not for
I
me.
would not-
It's not me.
Okay. Wait. Don't spend.
Do you think she cheated?
Part of
Take account of that reaction. Do you think she cheated?
part of me is like, you know what? I think she might have had a cheeky little Armando on the side, a little Stefan, a bit of Damian.
To me, she comes very very honest to me. That's why I'm like,
I don't know. I mean, she does have a look. She could be.
her
honest.
reactions are very
Part of me is also
authentic to me. Like, sometimes when someone's lying, they have these things where they're like, but we don't know yet. Let's find out.
What's her name? Chloe. I don't trust her already. Her name.
Chloe. It was Chloe Anderson. Oh, sounds like a liar to me.
She don't look like a Chloe Anderson. Nah, I don't trust her. She's a liar.
Damn.
And a lot of your saliva. You may need it for later. Hold on. Now,
What the
you
fuck?
were married-
What?
I love this woman.
What does that
I don't
mean?
know what this show is,
Save your
but I love
saliva. You might
Hold
need
this
it for
alive.
later.
You need it for later. Oh, she's sick. I might actually start watching something regular now, just for her.
For how long?
For 4 months.
The marriage lasted 4 months.
Yes, 4 months.
A
Only
year and
four-
a half, our children were 4 months, and then he left.
When there's a miscommunication, it's just the funniest bit. My guy's like, yes, 4 months. We're married for 4 months.
Yeah, I was about to say that 4 months. No wonder why he doesn't want the.
I was like, how the fuck these kids? Like, you had kids in 4 months and all
Had
this
kids
happened.
decided
Like,
to get
what?
married and then we're just like, yeah, not my kids. I'm bouncing.
This is crazy.
And the children were born during the
our
time
Yes,
that you were
during-
married.
During the marriage.
Okay,
Yes.
so they're legally your children. That you understand, right?
That's also crazy. You know how legally, like, if you're in a marriage, if a woman has any kids, they're legally yours. Like,
Yeah.
no two way about it. Like, she cheats on you, gets pregnant with another guy, those kids
That's
are yours.
still your child.
That's effed. That's some bull.
That is a
And
bit
you
of a
have to
mad
pay
one. To
for
be fair.
that
That is
and
a bit of
child
a mad
support.
one.
There's also
The daddy ain't you, so you shouldn't have to take
yeah,
care
man,
of
I
him.
ain't these kids, dad. What the fuck? And then there's also that if a woman has kids, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it even happens here. She can put any dude's name down as the father, and he has to pay child support.
Is that
That I don't know. I think it's in America somewhere. It happened to loads of men, actually, loads. Because I was watching some stuff on it and reading up on these, and women would just basically put a guy's name down, and he would just start having to pay child support. And he can't get out of it. There was a court case about it.
I guess he can like argue about like go
Oh
to court
no!
with it.
Oh, hear this. A guy. So a woman did this to a guy. Obviously, my guy's like, "What the fudge? I didn't even sleep with you." And so he took it to court. And I think at first the court kept refusing or some shit like that. And then when he finally took it to court, he told the judge everything, and the judge took the woman's side and was like, "Oh, so you want to bastardize these children? Like you want to do that to these children?" I'm like, excuse me? I was so confused, bro. I was like, the judge was saying to the guy, knowing that he's not the father,
Is this in
that you
recent,
shouldn't
like
I think it was in America. It
the
said
modern
you
day.
shouldn't bastard. Yes, modern day, modern day.
I'm making sure because I'm like, we have
Modern
DNA
day,
tests,
bro.
right? Like, come on, you're the court of law.
Yeah, because I
There's
think
a
he wanted a
certain-
DNA test, and he was like, "Oh, so you want to bastardize these children? How could you do that to
They
these
ain't my
children?"
kids,
It's like,
they
they
ain't
ain't
my
his kids. They ain't his
Sorry,
kids.
but my kids. Are you trying to make me pay child support for a kid that ain't mine?
Do you know how
If
f that
that
is though?
wasn't
That the judge
mine-
would say you want to bastardize these children.
I'm sorry, but that's a bad. If that actually did happen, that's a mad.
It
one.
happened,
Because
bro. I'm telling you, it
If
happened.
it ain't my swimmer, I ain't paying. If
My
she out here
swimmer.
opening a leg for every Tim, Don, and Harry,
Oh,
I
bro.
ain't coming in with the money.
That's crazy, man. That's some next level effed up shit. And some guys are still stuck in that process where now they're paying child support for kids that aren't even theirs.
Nah, that's a bit mad. That's a bit mad. Come
Bro,
on,
I would-
courts. Come on, justice system.
I would go
actually.
to
It's not even
war.
the it's the justice system.
I would go
Like,
to. I wouldn't be paying for those kids.
Oh, I mate. I'm like, it's the justice system's fault. Like, come on, put in. You got DNA test. It's 20 now. If this is
If you
still
didn't pay
happening-
that, also you can go to jail. If you just chose, if you were like, listen,
Oh, I'm firming up. I'm going to prison and getting myself
You go
some
to
prison
prison.
muscles, bro. Nah, mate. If the swimmer ain't mine, she ain't
Hey,
coming here trying to put my
At
name
least
on
you
no
ain't paying that child support though.
Hey, I'm still not paying that child support.
Hey, so why are you in prison? Basically, yeah, this woman went. This woman that I didn't know had a baby, and then decided that she was just gonna say that I was a dad. I said no because I never met you. I never slept with you. And then the government decided, you know what, you're going to prison because you want to leave these kids without a father, even though you ain't the father and you got your own life and stuff that you got to take care of. That's what
The modern world.
It's
We are
crazy.
truly screwed.
It's crazy. Anyway, back to the video. Back to the video.
Back to Italian boy.
All right, I want to see the divorce papers.
You just see how sure of
That's
himself he
fake.
is and how like confident he's just there.
I
Like,
kind of
Alright.
don't like him. I think he is right. I don't like
In the
him.
divorce
I don't like him, right? The way he acts towards people.
Yeah,
I
his
feel
attitude's
it's
a bit
disgusting.
Nah. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to side with him. on
I'm waiting to see your reasoning. At the moment, I don't have it. At the moment, I'm on the fence.
Okay, you're on the fence right now, but I'm
Yeah.
going to have no choice but to side with him in the end on a certain
Okay, we'll
aspect.
see.
I agree with what this man has to say in the end. Let's go.
So we'll have to see because
I
someone
think-
just said this.
It's
kid's are
crazy
ugly.
because he's gonna act crazy throughout this whole video, and then I'm gonna say, okay, I agree with you. Which is, but not on everything he says. Everything he says and does, there's some things that are just out of order. But there's something in the end that I have no choice but to agree with him on. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
$150.
$55 for maintenance.
That means you don't make a lot of money as a model.
I model. I live for that's work. I don't want to change work for maintenance. Sorry, it's
This-
not necessary the DNA test. I love the hair, but I'm sure the child is not mine.
So my guy's trying to he's trying to stop himself paying this and to prove that these aren't his kids. She brings up, okay, I've ordered a DNA test so we can check these are your kids or not. And then when that comes out, my guy's like, no, I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't
Thing
need
is,
it.
I don't understand how it gets to this level. It's like, wouldn't you just order DNA test first?
No,
from
but he
home?
doesn't want to risk the chance of them being his kids. That's why he's saying no. Because he
That's
just
it.
doesn't want to pay. He just doesn't want these kids.
Just do it, home.
You can
slice.
tell
You
from
need
his
to know.
freaking actions.
So,
you see
but
the
you don't
picture.
understand that DNA is very necessary.
Right, did you hear that? He's freaking, his whole proof that these aren't his kids is the picture
they're
of the
ugly.
kids. That's it. It's like, look at the kids. That's it.
Oh, maybe you're an ugly kid, bro.
Oh, we've all been kids. Damn.
You're all dopey looking at.
I was a cute kid though, me man. I was a cute kid.
I have a proof.
Biologically,
I have a proof.
biologically connected to people.
I have a proof.
Do you know?
The
I
Yes,
have the
true.
results,
I have a
but I
picture
am
of the
going to
child.
wait
picture.
till I
The
hear
picture is
the
his
whole
proof.
argument in the case before
No, the DNA test that
I
tells
talk about
you
the DNA.
100% that these are your kids. Okay.
These are your child's, my man.
I
These
have
are
the
yours.
proof. Look at the picture. Look that thing like me.
Look at all the genes they link up. This is your kid.
Yo, she's like, look at the
I wanna see-
jeans.
Wait, do we get to see the
DNA.
picture of the
He's like,
kids?
look at the outfits, bro. These ain't my kids. I'll never be caught dead wearing that shit.
Do we have? Do we see the picture of the kids?
oh yeah.
Oh, good. I want to see
Yeah,
this kid.
yeah,
see
we
if they
do, we
really
do.
are ugly, as he says.
Uh,
Ugly ass kids. I was an ugly ass kid. I grew up, took the long road to being a sexy little beast. Look at me now.
Really not necessary. I don't want to create another problem. I have a picture of the
99%.
child.
You go.
Okay, what's the problem that's going to be created here? He said, I have a picture. I don't want to create another problem. He's so heavy on not getting this DNA test done because he doesn't want to find out if there is kids or not. He just has the picture. He wants people to look at the picture and be like, "Ah, cool, they're not your kids." I mean,
Yeah, that's a bit of a dumb logic. Like,
Yeah.
you know, come prepared for the DNA test. I mean, you must have known that when you got there, they were gonna be like, "Yeah, we'll
DNA
take your
test.
DNA for it," because like you're
and
coming
the
for a
paternity
big.
test, it tells you here are 99.9% accurate, and my guy is 99.9% not down to find out if these are his kids or not. It's just like, nope. I've got picture. Let's go.
Look at these kids.
Oh,
They're
dear.
not mine.
Not mine. Let's carry on.
It's
Can I
very,
please
very
speak?
ugly.
You're
It's
gonna-
not
yeah,
like
you're gonna
me.
talk to
Sorry.
me. I just want to hear
Very,
all
very
the
ugly.
ridiculous things
Good
he's
luck.
saying.
When
For
I
me,
saw the
it's-
first time the child, I saw that the monster is not
They're
like
not
me.
monsters.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Okay. So
My guy says
Wow.
monsters.
I can admit some kids aren't the cutest, but
Yes.
no, you can't call them
You can't-
monsters,
this
man.
is what I'm
That's a bit far.
saying.
That's a bit far. That's a bit wild.
This is what I
That's
was
a bit
saying.
wild.
Like, I'm gonna have to agree with him at the end. But there's some wild out of order stuff that he says. Imagine
Yeah,
if these
this-
are his kids, and by the way he's acting, I feel like we have an answer if these are his kids or not. He really doesn't want to find out. And when his kids watch this back, when they're like however old, and you can see that dad going, "These are monsters, not my kids are ugly." Like the ugly bit, I was like, ugly, yeah, it's a bit harsh, but you know what? It's calm. The babies, they're going to look. Calling them monsters, bro.
Yeah, that's a step too far. That didn't sit right. Like when he was like ugly, I was like, okay, you do get some kids where it's like you don't like to admit it because you'll say every kid's got its own
But they're
personal
ugly.
look, but there are some ugly kids. You
Yeah.
have to say it. But monsters is like, nah, that's a bit, nah, that's moving mad. Even if they're not your kids, even if they're not the prettiest looking.
It's
kid,
because
nah.
we obviously grow up around like bigger, more like formed people. When you see babies, sometimes I wouldn't say they're even ugly, but they just look different, don't they? They just
Straight out
look.
of Alien vs Predator, little xenomorph looking.
It depends, and sometimes babies are born like prematurely, where they look even more weird and stuff like that. But calling them monsters, bro, damn. it's
Nah,
like-
that's too far. That's too far.
that's
His
a bit
character's not sitting well with me at the moment.
No.
I'm like hoping.
No, but then at the same time, you know that. But okay. Let me carry on, and then there's some parts
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, "Aye, fair enough, he's right."
We'll see. We'll see.
18 months.
18
okay.
months.
So and you have been
I
paying.
pay every month.
Let me see
This
the
is
child
my
report.
paper.
Okay, perfect. Do you see the children? Do you visit the children?
Yes. Not
you-
this during the divorce, no. I don't want to
doesn't
see
have to.
never in my life. the
But
children.
after the divorce, he hasn't
No,
seen
I
the
don't
children.
see never.
He doesn't spend any time with the
I
children.
don't want spending time and money for two monsters. Sorry. I tell you every time before sex, please take the pill because I don't want child.
I understand
Okay?
that, and I took
And
my
why-
pill.
So you never wanted children.
No.
You told your wife that you didn't want any children.
Yes.
Yes.
But during the marriage, you didn't use any protection.
I asked her for use the pills. I meant
Well,
I
why
don't
do you have to
use it.
depend on her to use the pill?
Right. Here's one thing that I'm gonna have to jump on my guy's side here. Obviously, you should have used protection if you really didn't want kids that much. But at the same time, he did have a talk with his wife saying that he didn't want a child. And they had the talk about the pill, which is 99% effective in preventing pregnancies. It was all. It's a pretty effective way to not have babies. And so they had that talk, but then she got pregnant pretty soon. I have to say also. So what I'm thinking here is they should do it on purpose.
See, this is what it's like. I don't like his character. I don't stand by his character at all.
Yeah.
But when you know what the thing is, if she didn't want to use the pill, and it's like, yeah, I can understand where this woman, like the judge woman, is coming from. Where it's like you should use protection if you don't want kids that badly. Where you're coming from as well.
Yeah. But he had
Thing
that
is,
talk
though,
with his wife.
but the
and
thing is, it is a bit
discussed
sus because if
taking
you've been
the
talking
pill.
about it, and he's telling you take the pill. You're like, yeah, I am, and she's saying she's definitely taking the pill, and she's remembering all the time.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like, yeah, it is a bit. I see what you mean. It's a bit sus because it's one of those things where it's like,
This isn't the only thing, by the way. There's a major thing coming up that I have no choice.
See, at the moment, now the wife is seeming a bit to me. I'm like, especially after hearing they've been married a year. So how long have they been together? Like together.
So they were married for
18 months.
18 months.
Because I'm hearing it as like, okay, so they had the 4 months of having the kids, and then they divorced. So you take the 4 off the 18, you have 14. Then you gotta take the 9 off for how long the kid was growing. So you've got 5. So they were technically married 5 months before the kid came through.
Kids. After she got pregnant. 5 months.
Yeah, that's oi, Chloe. I'm looking at you with a bit of sus now.
I mean, like,
because 5 months and you're telling me you've been using quote unquote birth control. I've seen girls for longer than a good 2 years using birth control, and never has one of them got pregnant. And you're telling me 5 months with birth control, quote quote.
There is,
and you got pregnant.
There is some sus. Like, as much as I don't like this guy, I know where he stands, and I know exactly what.
I don't like his reasoning.
I don't like his reason, but I know exactly what he's for. I know everything. With her,
I'd be peed off too, especially if someone told me and it was like, you're a married couple and you're telling me here, yeah, I'm using birth control, and then suddenly I find out you're not, and it's like, if you wanted the kid, like, let me know. Obviously, maybe that's not in my plan now. It might be in the future, but it's obviously we have to talk about it. You can't just be not slipping in the pill and trying to. I don't know, man.
Well, let's find out, because we haven't really heard how she got pregnant. So let's see what she says.
Go on, let's hear this.
There's problems with the body when you take the pill.
Yes, but it don't exist the pill for men. Sorry.
No, but there's vasectomy.
Where comes
Michael for that.
Vasectomy. Bro, she goes from the pill to vasectomy. That's when they think of your thing, isn't it? In terms of the shit.
Yeah, they snip you. They snip your boys.
No, thank you.
They snip your boys.
I know, but the people say that. A lot of women say that. Because they can give like tubes tied, but then they can't ever have kids again. I don't think. It's like
the thing is, it's one of those difficult. Obviously, I know it's not 100% effective to use the pills or implants, but the thing is, it's a
more
bit like
effective
you'll be like, oh yeah, even like
Really?
sometimes like I've heard many girls are like, oh, I don't like using condoms, and then it's like,
Yeah,
but
no
then you
girl
can't be
likes
like, oh,
using
the
condoms.
guy can get his vasectomy, and it's like, yeah, but then that's if you guys don't work out, and he decides he goes to another marriage, or he marries someone else, and he finds the one after you, he can never have kids now because you wanted him to go and
They
get
say
snipped.
that you can like tie your tubes or something like that, and it can be like undone for guys, but at the same time, that's me having to go get cut open, tied. And then
it's
uncut open again when I decide I want to. I just no, thank you.
It's a mad one. It's a mad one.
But then again, I get what she's saying with the whole pills, like obviously they affect your hormones. They can like mess you up. It can mess up your periods. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. But
it's a mare. It's a bloody mare.
So here I'm gonna have to side with the woman here.
I'm siding with the judge. I'm on the judge's team the whole way. The judge is good. These two are a dysfunctional couple. Should never be married in the first place.
But then at the same time, if you've agreed to take the pill and it doesn't have these certain effects on you and it's all good, then that's your responsibility. If you've talked about it and you've agreed, like, yeah, he should also be like, oh yeah, take your pill. Like, calm. He should remind you if he doesn't want kids that bad. But at the same time, you've agreed to it. You've spoke about it. You've agreed to it. You don't want kids. You're not having kids.
I think if she literally doesn't have been like, oh, she had a problem with it, then at least tell him, talk about it. You are a married couple, I'm sure he'd understand and be like, okay, we'll find alternatives.
But she hasn't
Maybe
said
you just start wearing
anything
condoms. But obviously, if she hasn't said anything,
She didn't even say she had a problem with him yet. Let's see what she says.
Oh, you're sus.
Why? She tell me I take the pill regularly every day. I married.
Boom. There, see, she told him she takes the pill every day regularly.
Chloe, I'm not trusting you right now. You're having sauce.
Did you see your face then? Yeah, let me retry. Let me just show you that face again.
And there's condoms.
Why? She tell me I take the pill regularly every day. I married.
What was that? And Louis like, uh-oh. Like, oops.
Shocking, yeah, like she got caught.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Honestly, you're gonna fight this person. It's like if you did say it and you didn't uphold, obviously here there's some madness.
I married her with the pact. I don't want a child. She told me, okay, don't worry, me too don't want a child. Okay, and after 4 months, she told me I am pregnant.
Maybe you should have never gotten married. Maybe.
You go, Judge.
There we go.
Tell him how it is.
There we go.
Tell
You
him how it
shouldn't have
is.
gotten married. But then, here, you heard my
They
guy
don't
say
seem
it.
like a good couple.
Yeah, but my guy
in
just
my
said
eyes.
it simple and clearly. We get married. I say straight on right off the bat, I don't want kids. She says, don't worry. I don't want kids. I take the pill every day. 4 months later, how can you be pregnant?
Yeah, that is.
You
It's
know
a
what I
mad
mean?
one.
You
It's
know
a
what I
mad
mean?
one. There's some.
A bit sus.
Nah. I think she's done something here. Either
And then
if they are
Judge-
his kids,
Yeah.
it's an unrightful kid upbringing because obviously she's lied, she's tricked him into it.
But at the
and
same
he's
time,
fallen
there
into the
is
trap.
kids. You can't then just abandon them.
Yeah, he can't abandon them. I guess you have to stay with them. But if that is the way, she's done him dirty because obviously he might have grown into it. I feel like she's one of those where she was like, oh, maybe I'll have the kid and he'll want to stay with it. And it's like
Yeah.
some people just really don't at that time or at all want children.
Here's the thing.
It's
My guy-
not in their DNA.
Like you heard him at the beginning. He said, "I'm a model. I live for this. Like this is what I want to do. I don't want.
This
to
is his
change
whole
it.
thing.
This is like he's all his life.
You
this
knew
is
his
what
character
he's
from the
gonna do.
start, and yet
Yeah.
you tried to force him
And then-
to.
And then she puts the kids onto him like that. Like yes, there is kids. He can't abandon them, but now he has to give up everything he's been
Everything.
working for. That he's aligned himself or that he's planned to like
all
to-
his dreams, hopes, whatever.
yeah.
He might be a
Like-
dick, but you know he's a human being. He still has hopes and aspirations, and now he kind of
And now
cheated in
she's
it because
kind of stolen that from him. She's taken that away from him.
it is.
by-
I could like, yeah, it's like I don't agree
what
with
I
him
mean?
wanting to leave the kids if they're his.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is kind of like what you did was wrong. If you wanted kids, it might have been a while later. But you know, it's one of those. I think the judge is right. To be honest, they shouldn't have got married because I feel like it's one
He
of those
married
things
the
where it
wrong
was
one.
like.
Let's
They-
let's hear his reasoning for marrying her, and then we'll see why if it's valid enough for him to.
If they deserve this.
Yeah.
You must be over 30, right?
Yes, 32.
You're 52?
32.
Oh, 32.
If he was
Okay.
52, I'd be like, damn.
Yo, if he was 52, bro.
Yo, I'd be like, there you go, punk champ, you've won this, bro. You've top tiered this. Like
Yeah.
52, you're looking like that, oi.
But
Tell me
also,
who your voodoo
he
priest
said
is.
something interesting there. I was prepared for marriage, but I wasn't prepared
not for children.
You know what I mean? Because being married is one thing. Having children is a different story.
It's
Like
another scale. It's another scale.
you then gotta start thinking about a lot of different stuff, which he clearly is not thinking about any of this stuff that you have to think about when you have children, because he just doesn't want to be there. He just doesn't want to have these kids, which is fair enough because he never wanted them, and then she kind of like I feel like she trapped him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like when you're a father, you have to step up. You have to like once those kids are there, it's your responsibility. If you don't want those kids, to make sure they don't happen. But once they're there, you did that. There's no way out of it. You did that.
I mean, in this terminology, she did that, and
Yeah,
he
she
participated in
did that,
doing
but
that
he
too.
participated. He like allowed himself to be that. So once
be,
you've
yeah.
done that, there's like I don't care for your reasoning. Once you've done that, you've done that. You have to be there. There's no way
Yeah,
out
you
of
got
it.
you got to do your what you call it, your
Your
duty.
part. You got to do it. You're a father now. You got to step up. There's no two ways about it. Yes, come. You got trapped unless somebody somehow steals your seeds and implants themselves somehow without you physically being there. You've taken
See,
part.
I wouldn't mind actually donating thing, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
no,
I'm kind
I
of scared
would
of that
actually-
whole.
I would love
I'm
to-
scared of it because of that fact where it's like someone would just take it and be like, "Well, this is your kid," and I'm like, "Yeah, it has my DNA, but it's not like I gave my thing away and gave all rights. I don't.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do
Nah,
with
nah.
this."
If you're a donor, like I've thought about being a donor. I've wanted to be a donor. If you're a donor, you don't have. They can't legally trap you with that. Like, but then what if they just say nah? It happened on a Saturday.
Yeah,
like
that's what I
and
mean.
then,
It's too much. It's
it
too
is
much
risky
tricky
when you
case.
think about it.
I don't want to even risk it. My
Yeah.
boys are saying,
Because then they'll be like, all right, DNA test. Oh, it is your kid. Yeah, but
what I mean, my
I'm a
boys are
donor. And they're like, no. It was on a Saturday. It was this and that. We were out, and then she makes up some wild story, and it says like, and then
Well, I think
people
the
believe her.
pro-scientist friend who can store like just a single capsule, and I might just get my boys gone.
Anyway, let's carry on with the video.
You're a man.
Yes, I know.
And then
That's for one song.
32.
32.
Okay. So you're a man.
Yes, I know.
And then that's
I know
when
I am man, but,
married couples do. They fall in love. They get married.
I was
they
a-
have children.
All right, I have to go against her on this. Her point doesn't make sense because she's saying, "Oh, you're a man. Oh, you're a married couple. They fall in love, have children, blah blah blah." I'm like, yes, married couples fall in love, discuss when they want children, have the children when they have discussed it together that they're ready for children, then take care of those
Preach.
children. You can't then just say, "Oh, you're a man. You've gotten into a marriage, and then your wife has tricked you and decided to get pregnant without you knowing, and now you've got this responsibility that you weren't ready for when you were planning to do all these other things with like your job." Like you can't just throw that on someone who's not ready for it and just be like, "Oh no, you're a man, you're in a couple, so it's okay for her to just trick you." Like that's
You know, here I
crazy.
highly agree with you. I feel like, especially when you said this, that was the best terminology. Discuss it.
Yeah.
Because it is about discussion. It is like, it doesn't matter what. Yeah, you're married. Yeah, you're in love. But there has to be a discussion. It's not one of those things where it just pops through and it's like, oh, we're having a kid.
Yeah, like,
everyone
what do you
on
mean?
films, on films, people seem happy because it's a film. In
Ugh.
real life, both people need to discuss. People have careers. People have things they want to do. Right? It doesn't matter if you're 30. Yeah, you're a man, but maybe you want your kids at 38. You don't want them 4 months into marriage, and it's just like, oh, by the way, we're having a kid now.
And I would like to bring it back into the beginning. She said it perfectly. She said, so he said he's paying 450, and she was like, "Oh, so you're not making a lot of money." So he's financially not even ready for it. Like
He's not. Yeah, he's not prepared.
now
For
you're
it. It wasn't
forcing
in
it
his
on him.
immediate plans.
exactly. Oh, it's ridiculous now that she's saying, "Oh, you're a man. You should just, even if it springs out of you out of nowhere when you're not ready for it financially, mentally, or physically, you should just be able to just."
I'm
switch
still on your
everything you're
side,
doing.
Judge, but not with this comment.
Yeah,
this comment you
is
effed
out of
it.
order from her.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
effed this
completely
comment
off.
badly.
Let's see what else she has to say.
Man, but,
Married couples do. They fall in love. They get married. They have children.
Yes, was fall in love. Our life was a beautiful house, beautiful wife, a beautiful husband. But why the ugly child?
Yo, he said, beautiful house, beautiful wife, beautiful husband. Me, of course, I'm beautiful. And then, why the ugly child?
Oh, man, I'm trying to help you fight your case, but you're making it very difficult by saying shit like this.
No, but at the same time here, besides saying, why the ugly child, he didn't say anything wrong. He said, yes,
Yeah.
life was beautiful. I had my beautiful house, beautiful wife. Life was beautiful. I didn't want any kids. I've discussed it with my wife. I'm trying to sort my life out. And then maybe in the future they could have had kids. But although at the same time, I got 32. It's getting kind of old.
I know it's bad
Like-
for me to say this. I feel so wrong saying this, but I'm like, could the wife have done it? Like, maybe they are his kids,
Yeah.
but she just stopped taking the pill and wanted the children
That's
to
what I'm
try
saying,
to hold
bro.
him, there, because obviously
what I'm
he is,
saying.
as he's saying, he's a good-looking chap.
guy.
He's
Yeah,
a
we
good-looking
got-
chap,
but, you know.
and it's like you don't want other girls. You know, especially since he's a model.
Yeah.
You don't want all these other model girls. Maybe they're on a shoot one night. They're doing a late
Like, do
shoot.
you reckon
she's
she
at
got
home.
threatened? She got scared that he might
Yeah,
leave
that's
her,
what
so
I'm
she
not
was
saying
like-
that's what happened, but I'm saying it is a possibility because the way he's, you know, they do seem like that kind of couple where it's like they're both still in their probably 30s, like, you know, start at 30s. They're young, they're wild, they're just married. I bet you they're up and down doing it in the kitchen, in the bathroom,
My
whatever.
days.
It's wild times.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, he's still got it going on for him at 32. Next thing you know, a little sweet 28-year-old walks into the shoot next Monday. And
My
boom,
days. Wow. Okay.
they're together now. He's leaving you because he's met another woman. You know what? Having a kid could, you know, lock him in there.
There's something else coming up that I'm just waiting for. That I'm gonna have to heavily agree with my guy.
Oh, we're about to hear Keith preach.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna. It was for me. Like the. Okay, let's just.
You have the picture.
Yes,
Show
I
the
have.
picture.
It was very interesting that on the little tag thing, he said that he claims he was tricked into fatherhood and unjustly has to pay the thing. Whether he is the father or not, he was tricked into fatherhood. There's no doubt about it. I feel like she did it on purpose. Like I feel like she did.
There's a lot of red flags. Let's just say.
Even if she, but maybe she didn't. Maybe she did. You know what? Even if she didn't do it on purpose, like. But I mean, then no one's really at fault for that. But my guy was clear in the beginning. He didn't want kids, so
Stated as facts. He got tricked
don't know,
into
man.
it, possibly.
Possibly got trapped into it. Maybe he didn't, but possibly he did. So let's carry on.
Let me see the picture. Can we put the pictures up in the monitors? There are the children.
There are the children.
Well,
I
they're
think
not
they
even that. Nah.
the cute,
that
aren't
bad.
they? They're not ugly. The noses, though, are very unique. They don't look like their mothers or their fathers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the noses are a bit. I saw the.
Different.
That's the thing. I'm glad you picked up on that because I saw the noses and I was like trying to like look at it. And I'm like.
Although I
could
think
be
they
the
look
father.
more like their dad than their mom. You know
I've
what I
actually
mean?
seen his. I might have to look at his eyes. I don't know.
hang on.
I can't see either parent in them.
Look, oh no! Look at him. Look at him.
You know,
right? They look
kinda,
like their
slightly,
dad.
Slightly.
But their mom.
Yeah,
I
it looks
don't
nothing like
know.
the mother.
That's what I mean. Okay. So we think they look more like their dad. That mom we don't really see.
Even if then, I'm seeing a very
Which is weird.
big black dude
So-
called Tyrell.
Is he the dad and she's not the mom? Tyrone. All right, let's get into it. Though. Let's see what they say.
And they are gorgeous.
They are the cute kids.
Gorgeous.
They're beautiful
They
children.
look like the dad. They've got his
me or
eyes.
like a mother.
Stop saying
I
that.
think they're gorgeous children.
I think it's like a friend, your friends. Yes, like your friend's
I would
photographer.
I never
You
was
betrayed
once
me with the
unfaithful to
photographer
you.
or with the trainer. You every day go to the gym for training or for getting married with another guy.
They look.
You say you go to photography or something, or the trainer is saying these are the trainer's kids, man. These ain't my kids.
You mind?
These ain't mine. Oh, she's crying now. Let's see.
Like-
Why are you crying?
They
I'm
They look
really-
just like
I'm-
me,
I'm-
did she say?
It's not.
I don't think
It's
they look
not
just like
mine.
her.
They are.
I don't know. It's like a monkey.
I think they look like you a little bit.
No, like me. Like
I think
like
they do.
like
I think they have
creators.
your forehead, the hair, the way you have. I don't know. I think they look like you.
No, like
I feel like she's holding back on something. Don't you get that sense? Like
Who,
she's
the wife?
like she wants to say something, but she's not saying it. like there's
Yeah.
something there. Okay.
Something lingering.
Let's carry on.
And I think they're beautiful children.
Thank you. They're beautiful.
You know what I think? I think you're just lazy. I think that you just don't want to face up to the responsibility of being a
I
father.
have all the responsibility.
of
I pay
paying,
for 80
of
months.
doing what you have
I
to
don't
do.
want to continue to pay. I pay for 80 months.
Well, let
and
me
now
tell you
I
something.
don't
This
want
is
to
not an
continue.
optional.
Oh, I gotta commend him on that. That he has been paying.
Yeah,
Even if
he's
he doesn't
been
want to do
sticking
it,
with it.
he has been paying.
He's been sticking through. That's
Yeah,
like, give him props for that at
Yeah,
least.
at least. Like
Still a
it's a
D-head,
bit
but
of
you
a
know.
and a big D-head for not going and seeing them, even
Yeah.
if like he thinks they're not his. Like the possibility that's there that they are his. Why is a bit of a D-head move not to go.
Bro, he's
see
gonna be so sad when they grow up and they're like really good models and they're like up there and he's like,
Yeah, and they want nothing to do with him because he
Yeah.
called them monsters and stuff. And then you know what's crazy? People like this don't want anything to do with their kids in the beginning, and then when they grow up, they start having that wanting to be inside the children's lives, and then
Yeah.
the children's are too busy or they just don't want to be in the father's life anymore.
I wouldn't blame them. I mean, he
yeah.
called you monsters. Of course, they don't want to be in his life anymore. He's a bit of a D.
It's evident. It's not mine.
Okay, wonderful. That is your position. Anything else that you have to add? Is there anything else?
It says it's evident they're not mine because they don't look, but they look more like him than the mother. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
You want to spend
okay.
it in perfume
Yeah,
and
okay.
in clothing and in shoes. I understand.
Yes, and beauty face.
Oh, and beauty face.
Thank you.
My guy, yo, he doesn't even get that she's like kind of mocking him a bit there. He's just like, yes, and beauty thing. Like he's like listening, like, yes, these are the things I want to spend it on, not the truth.
He's a bit. I don't know where this man's brain is, but it's definitely not in his head.
Oh, it's funny, but it also it's the communication there of the. I think he obviously speaks a different language.
I like her reaction in the back, the one in the red top. Her reaction is great. I've been watching her reaction all the time, where she's just there like, oh my day. She's twirling her head like, watch. She needs some popcorn there, and I just want to see her like, oh.
That'll be the funniest thing. Imagine she just rocks up with some popcorn, just there eating the stuff.
Yo, I know at home she's the type who sat there like jumping on the set, eating the popcorn, like, oh no, he didn't. She's hyping every. Oh, she's a real one.
Do you know like
She's
this one I can watch, but there's some really like very emotional, like charged drama type stuff, and I can't watch that stuff because like like I feel what they feel. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know why I can't, like sometimes I can't help but like attach myself to that emotion, and it just feels icky. And I'm just like and I'm cringe. I cringe so hard, and I just have to get out. I just can't do it.
No, I don't think I go through that.
Oh, it just hurts. Like I feel it in my heart, and I don't like the feeling. It's like in my chest right there. I feel it, and I just don't like it.
I mean, I can understand where they're coming from sometimes. Sometimes where it's like a really sad, and I'm like, oh man, that's just painful. But I feel like I never really feel it. I can like watch it through, and I'm just be like, you know what?
Sound when like either a guy or a girl just humiliates the other half, and just like, and it's just so malicious, and it's just so like, and I'm just there like, oh, like his family must be watching this, his friends.
Yeah, like damn, that's painful.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. When it's broadcasting to the whole world, that's when it hurts me, fam. Because I'm like, yo, you do.
Everyone's gonna see this when you walk down the street. They're gonna be like, oh, look, it's him.
His family, fam, or her family. It's just, oh.
I would never have cheated on him. Never did. Never looked.
You sure this is my children?
They are our children.
Really?
Yes.
And
they look just like me. They really do, and they look just like him.
It's very interesting that the mother keeps saying they look exactly like her, even though I feel they don't.
I ain't seen it.
Yeah, you ain't seen it, are you? Okay.
Not much.
Okay, I want to explain something to you.
I think they have the head shape, maybe, but that's about it.
They got their mothers.
Child support is formulated based upon salaries, income. But it also takes into account the time that the parents spend with their children. Because the time you spend with your children is time that you subsidize their expenses, right? You take care of them. Mm-hmm. So when a court orders child support, it doesn't foresee only that you're paying an amount every month and that should be enough to raise your children. The court also wants you to spend time with the children. I mean, money isn't everything. Love, affection, the time you spend, the education you give, the example is so worthy.
Preach,
it's
Judge.
more valuable.
But I don't think you really want an example from my guy. You know?
Yeah, he's probably not the best. I feel like he's probably doing a better job just not being around them, because this guy would like just demoralize his poor children.
I like his straightforward attitude. I like that my guy knows what he wants. I know that he's sure of
Determined,
himself,
driven.
He's determined, is driven. Like that, pass it on to the kids. Like they need that. And I also agree with her. Like, yeah, it's not all about money. You need to put some time into the kids. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just give them money.
You can't just throw cash and be like, that'll fix the problem.
He's paying you $455 a month for 2 children, which is, I think, is
It's too much.
it's too little. It's way too little.
It's
A
too
month.
much.
But if he would spend time with the children,
that is a bit too little. Like expenses for kids.
Kids cost way too much.
Expensive.
since he's not spending time with the children, you are able to ask for an increase in child support.
What?
Did you hear me?
I don't want
Yes.
Did you
spending
understand
time
what I
with
said?
the two ugly monsters.
Right?
I don't
Because-
want
They're
to
not
spend.
ugly.
I
Stop
don't.
saying
I
that.
don't. I don't
No.
want to be contagious.
Oh, this
Say contagious.
It's not even a bit contagious, bro. He's calling them contagious with
Oh,
the
okay, I don't even know how you're gonna
ugliness.
side with this man. This man has so far. Unless this DNA test shows anything else, I can't say I can side with this man at the moment. He's called the monsters and said they're contagious, all in one video. This man
Bro,
is moving.
this is why I
mad.
was saying he says some mad out of order stuff that I cannot agree with. But in
Jeez.
the end, I have to side with my guy.
Contagious.
But that is just crazy. He's calling these kids contagious and saying, I don't want to play for these ugly monsters. Bro, he's so
I'm just staring
out
out
of
the window
order.
right now, looking at this tree that's outside my room,
So
and
out
just
of
thinking about how
order.
good my childhood was. Because, god damn, my parents actually, damn, you know what? They did some mad stuff that called me blessed. But geez, I'm so glad, my parents are my
Bro.
parents, because I'd hate to have him as a dad.
Bro.
God damn.
Imagine your dad coming up to you and be like, don't touch me, you contagious, ugly monster. Imagine your dad calling you a contagious, ugly monster and he doesn't want to see you.
That's mad.
Bro.
This man's.
Bro. But I still have to agree with him at the end.
The truth is that they look just like me,
He's
and
getting to my-
prior to
I
meeting
married
him, I
you
had.
because you was a beautiful, okay? Not just
You know,
because you,
prior
are
to meeting you, I wasn't
intelligent.
this beautiful thing that
Yeah,
you see on the
yes,
outside. I worked really hard for this face and this body.
Yeah, for the first
you know
time-
what? They
for
look just
the
like
first
me.
time
the
I see
children
you
look just
outside.
like my old
What?
hard for this face and this body.
Yeah, for the first
you know
time-
what? They look
for
just
the
like
first
me.
time
the
I see
children
you
look just
outside.
like my old nose, and they have the cutest little face.
Huh? Old nose?
So she
first
had
time
some
I met-
surgery?
Oh, wait.
Full thing that
Yeah,
you see on the
yes,
outside. I worked really hard for this face and this body.
Yeah, for the first
you know
time-
What? They look
for
just
the
like
first
me.
time
the
I see
children
you
look just
outside.
like my old nose, and they have the cutest little face. They are identical to me. They have some of his father, but they take after me mostly.
What did you mean?
What did you? Huh? Say
Huh?
what?
Question mark?
Say it again.
What?
One more time.
They have some of his father, but they take after me mostly.
What did you mean? What? I'm sorry.
Listen, I am also a model. I work in the fashion industry, and prior to this career, I really wanted it. So I did what I had to do. I paid for my surgeries. I've had facial and body, and
What? Was a man before?
oh, like you're.
Was a man before? What? He's like, wait,
He
wait.
legit just
Yo,
asked that.
Bro, I love the language barrier miscommunication here. My guy is like, excuse me, you are a man? He's so shocked. He's like,
My dude
yo.
is. I don't know. You're gonna side with this man's. My dude.
Just wait.
I was not a man before.
You talk about the surgery. Which surgery do you have?
Chloe, wait a minute. So what you're telling me is that prior to meeting him, you
Yeah.
look different?
Yes, I would say within. I met him maybe. I had already finished the last surgery maybe a half a year before I met him.
Okay.
What? Before married?
Don't
Why?
act so shocked.
T-
Everybody
tell
does
me,
it.
Tell me what you did.
Okay, that bit. This is where I have to start agreeing with my guy. What do you mean? Don't act so shocked. Everyone does it. How
that line was a bit.
How can you not tell him?
That line was a bit.
Wait. Let's get a bit more into it.
Tell me all the procedures what you went through.
I've had a rhinoplasty. I've had.
So you had your nose done.
My nose done. I contoured my cheeks and my jaw. I've done cosmetic dentistry, and I've obviously had Botox, fillers, breast lift, lipo. I mean, whatever.
You
It's
changed
what you
tone
do.
now.
Whatever.
I got
This might be
99
called a
problems.
video, but can I just say breast lift?
Oh my God! Relax.
I ain't seen it,
Relax. Wait, all right, I'm cutting that out. You get in trouble for that one. Damn.
I gotta say it,
Whatever's-
bro.
Yeah, whatever's available.
I paid for it. I never put it on anybody. I took care
Why
of
you
it.
don't show me the picture?
I don't ask you how
before-
many girls you slept with before I met you.
What?
Probably a lot.
No. But that's dumb. That's dumb. Okay. She says. So my guy says, okay. So why didn't you show me a picture of what you look like before
Before we decided
before
to
we
jump
get
in this
married?
madness.
But okay. But at this point, I can agree with something from her end, but then I have to agree with something heavily on my guy's end. Let's carry on, and then I'll bring it all together once we have all the information.
It's the same thing.
If you
Okay,
Same
wait,
thing.
but I can't leave without saying this. What the fudge is she talking about? What's the same in plastic surgery and then how many people you've slept with? That's not the same.
Yeah, there's two different, like, you
Two
know.
completely different aspects of like going into a relationship and talking about something. That's insane.
And so it is a bit mad. Like you can't put them on the same level. Like on one hand, it's like you're completely changed. There's sometimes that people do it minor, but you completely changed your body. You're admitting to completely being a different person right now, and you're saying, oh yeah. So how many people you slept with? You know, that's completely. It's not the same levels.
No.
They're like two different wildnesses.
How many people he slept with have to do with?
It hasn't changed what
She
it
should
looks
have said,
like.
"Well,
He
I
looks the
didn't
same.
ask you what you did to yourself." I don't think he had anything done though. I think he's just.
If he hasn't, yo, God bless you nicely.
Yeah,
you
he's
should be
just a nice
nicer.
looking
Be
guy.
nicer to those children.
Yeah, he should be nice. So what the fudge, man? You're blessed with looks like this, and you're gonna be a D head with them? What the flip? Let's carry on.
Your body, your face.
We-
It's not
We
important
fell
you
in
show me the
love,
picture.
okay?
Why?
I'm sorry.
Why? Because I don't marry it. For this.
Why wouldn't you be?
Because if you have a picture about you before married me.
But this
You have?
this guy's the most superficial thing I've ever met in my
I'm
whole
not
life.
superficial.
You know-
I'm
Yes,
not
you
superficial.
are.
I'm
You're
not-
all about the
I'm
physical.
not superficial.
And do you know what's gonna
She's-
happen?
Although I can't side with the judge here. I mean,
She's made another mad move.
yeah,
here.
my guy likes what he likes. You can't. That's not a thing that you can change. That's just an emotional thing that I like this. This is what I like. I'm gonna like this. You can't then just force someone to like something they don't like. You know what I mean?
Because she's saying it as if it's just like, oh yeah, you just go for the. Thing is, nobody just goes for the person. You go for something that's appealing both to your soul,
Yeah.
your heart, your eyes.
Like-
When you get married, you're essentially looking for someone you can hang out with, but someone you're attracted to in that way.
He also
You know,
said,
you have to be physically attracted to them,
yeah.
or your marriage isn't going to work. So you can't be saying, oh, whatever she looks like doesn't matter. Because yeah,
Superficial.
I mean, that's probably the same reason she married him. She married him
'Cause of his
because
looks.
visually he was pleasing to her.
I feel
She might
like
have
that's
lost his
the main
character.
reason for marrying my guy.
I mean, I'm sorry, but he doesn't really have his character so far is. I can't imagine him before the kids, but his character seems awful. And the only thing he has going for him are his looks. So she
Although-
married him based on look.
Or
But if
everything
he
he
told her-
said has been on the kids. So I don't know. Maybe his character. Maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe
Yeah, maybe he does actually. Maybe like out of thinking this what you call it scenario. Maybe he's actually genuinely nice, and that's why she fell for him. But it is kind of like the judge has moved a bit mad here. The look. I'm not saying that the only important thing, but the thing is, you're not going to be sitting there committed and marrying someone who you're just getting on well with, but you're not physically attracted to. It then doesn't work out. You don't really get that passion that goes into it. How are you going to even get to that kid phase if the attraction isn't there?
And he did say like earlier that he didn't just marry her because she was just beautiful, like just
Yeah,
because
he-
she was intelligent. He said you're also beautiful. So he did like her personality, and he liked her looks and all. And then so I don't think.
But she's not wrong. He does seem a bit. I don't know. Maybe it is just his context, but he does seem a tiny bit superficial. I can agree where she said he
But that's
seems
just what he
superficial.
likes. That's just what he
But
likes.
then
You
I
can't
don't.
judge him.
Yeah, I
for
mean
it.
that's what I mean. Like I agree that he seems a bit superficial, but at the same time, I have to side with him in that factor where it's like the looks do essentially everyone. As much as people hate to admit it,
Looks
we all look
matter.
at certain
What the
people.
fudge? Yes, they do.
Everyone does it. Everyone looks at someone and goes, "That's my type."
Yeah,
I date
everyone
them.
has the type.
I'd swipe right on them. I talk to them.
And then you look at
I'd
someone
go
and
on a
said,
date
"I'll
with
swipe
them.
left." Not
Exactly.
my type,
You
not
swipe
my
left on
cup
some
of
people
tea.
because they're not your taste. Everyone has it. I'm sure the judge married her husband not only for his amazing banter skills.
Yeah.
She probably looked at him down the bar and was like, "Snack."
Snake.
Mm.
But then, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
As you
Lying.
grow older,
She's
do
lying.
you
No,
think
you're
you're
not
gonna
lying.
look like this the rest of your life?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes, I try.
But you're
This I
not
don't want
going
spending
to.
money for children, but for me, for conserving my future myself.
Do you have a picture of what you looked like prior?
He
Oh, please tell
said,
me she does.
he said she lied to me, and she said, "No, I didn't lie. You did lie. You didn't tell him what you looked like before. That's hiding the truth.
I
Hiding
mean, yeah,
who you-"
that's a major thing. Like you should have started with. Oh, by the way, this is how I look beforehand.
I feel like having
Yo,
plastic.
her
Although-
case is getting more and more flimsy.
Wait, I'll come back. I'll come back to this point that I'm making, and I might contradict myself a little bit, but it will make sense later. I feel like it's important, especially in a relationship, if you're people who have plastic surgery to be like, oh yeah, this is what I looked like before, but this is what I look like now. This is who I am now. Calm. But let's get real.
Wait, don't we get to see it?
Just wait.
Really. You smile because
I can
it's
see the
ugly.
children now. And they're
Show
actually
me.
quite
Yeah?
beautiful.
Wow, it's very monster. It's like children. You really
Oh my day! You said it's very monster like children. The nose,
like-
the kids.
Yeah, the nose comes in now.
the face shape, everything is starting to make sense, right?
thing is, she wasn't. I mean, yeah, okay, but like it's just the teeth. I feel like the teeth were just a bit extreme.
The face though, you can tell like the cheeks,
But you can
bro.
see-
I mean, everything is so much more different.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
changed it up highly.
Like
Oh, but my dude, you can't call her a monster. That's far, bro. That's a dickhead
me,
move. I gotta say
but
that.
I feel like she
fully
was
now.
expecting it. She didn't even react that much to it. Like, she was
Yeah, I
expecting
mean, he just now. You know what? Now his like superficial thing is like cemented. I don't like his character, honestly. No matter what, might end up siding with him in the
but
end. But I
if-
don't like his
Here's
character.
Here's the thing. If he saw her like this, and then saw the new one that was standing next together, he would swipe left on her and then take the other woman with the
Yeah.
plastic surgery. And here's the thing, I don't think that. And then I'm gonna say something later that. Anyway, I don't think that she has to, like tell him that she's had plastic surgery. I don't think that she needs to get into that when it's just a relationship between them two. I don't think she needs to disclose that information that, oh yeah, I used to look different before I met you. Like I had plastic surgery, I look bad different. I don't think it's important. Where I think it is important is the point that I'm going to make coming up.
like you really was the mother.
Oh,
You really was the mother, yes.
she
I
didn't
would
have
never
to tell
marry
this
you
one
this.
is this one is correct.
She doesn't have to tell you this.
Change the face and don't show me the picture is correct. It's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal.
In today's
Wow.
world,
They say that. They say it's normal for someone to change their faces and not say anything. And to a point, I agree with that. I'm like, all right, calm. Change your face, plastic surgery. You don't have to tell your partner. I guess it's kind of a you thing. I mean, when you have a partner, I feel like you should disclose that information. That's something you might just want to.
I think
But
how,
at the same
it depends on
time,
how
it's
deep
like-
it's going as well.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like it's not really that important because you still like that person. You like
Yeah.
the personality and you like the way they look. So it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. Let's get real.
I want to say, like, when you go into marriage, especially like when you go deep into a relationship, if you're like, looking at a sizable amount of your life together, or if you're going to get married,
Yes.
that is something where it's just like, yeah, just let them know, just to be like, yeah, because I feel like it doesn't have to be thingy, but it feels a bit weird that in the modern day we just like, she's like, oh yeah, it's just normal now
Yeah.
where people can just get plastic surgery and that's just it.
And that your
You're
your
done.
husband or wife isn't gonna be
They
let
don't know the
known
real
that.
you.
Yeah, because this is another point I was gonna get at. That is you. That's the real you. You know what I mean?
That's who you are. That's who you were born with. That's who your parents were
but then at
proud
the
of.
same time, it's like we've come into a custom of like accepting people for who they are, as they want to be seen, as they want to be, and I agree with that. I'm like, yeah, it's calm. This is who she is now. Let her be who she is. And she doesn't have to disclose that because this is who
Yeah.
she is now. This is who you fell in love with. Calm.
Great Adventures of Judge Akatsky. Do. That's a new hit TV show. Adventures of one man seeking the truth in the world. Judge Akatsky. Judge Itachi. Ooh. Judge Itachi.
it's totally
It's
normal.
divided me. It's lying.
Who
È un
says?
inganno. It's
Where's
true. It's
the
false.
lie?
It's not true life.
I never once
Hey, listen,
lied
let me
to
tell you something.
That's a point that he made there. He said it's not true life. It's what did he say? He said it wrong, so I can't think of the word now. Basically, it's like an illusion. It's like it's not really what she
disguised.
looks like. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Thing is, I think who she is now is who she is now. That's what
Yes.
she looks like and how she chooses. That's her. That's how she wants to be. Fine, but I think you're the
I
one who
agree.
married her.
I agree.
At the same time,
at
she
the same
said,
time, though, before marriage, I feel like you gotta know who you're marrying. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel like that.
And
she
everything
said,
about
did she not just
them
say
before
now
you
I
get
told him the
married.
truth or I didn't lie?
Well,
And
she
it's like,
didn't
well,
tell
you
him.
didn't,
She didn't
but
tell
you
him.
withheld the truth. You didn't lie, but you did withhold the truth because you could have been like, listen, before we get married, this, that. If he doesn't, choose you after that,
I feel like they
he
didn't
doesn't
know
deserve to
anything
marry
about
you.
each other before they got married. I feel like they just
Yeah.
got married just because. Oh,
I'm
you're
seeing these guys
beautiful,
being
I'm
the
beautiful.
kind who are like together for like a year or two and they got married. They didn't know
I don't know. I don't think
jack about each other.
Don't even know if it was even a year. It just seems a bit like they just rush into it without even knowing anything about each other. Anyway, let's carry on because there's a point that I'm gonna have to make soon.
The concept
Yes,
of
to
beauty has
retouch,
changed.
but not change
You
totally.
work in
She
the
didn't
industry.
change
How can
totally.
you
Yes, but you tell you
He's so
it's
conceited.
necessary. You told me.
There, you can see it now, can't you? The kid in the front, the kid in the front looks a lot like the dad in the eyes, in the forehead, stuff like that. The back one also looks a lot like the dad, but it's more mother side, I think. The noses both take from their mom, obviously, but they look like their parents, I think.
I think that I see
Look at
a
the eyes
tie
on the
right
one in
now.
the front. The eyes in the one in the front, especially. That's the dad.
I can see the mom in the back one, definitely.
Mm.
Nah, those are your
Because
kids,
of-
You're
cuz.
infallible. I'm so
For
sorry.
the children, okay, after 80 months, you tell at Dr. Polo, I changed the face, and you don't tell me before.
Because it didn't matter to it. Does not. At the end of
If
the day,
you show
I
me
was only with
before
one
your
man. I
picture-
was,
Yo, that okay. I have to respect my guy for that one. I have to respect him for that one. He says after 18 months, you come to this Anna Polo woman and tell me you change your face, but don't tell me before. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Why do you wait to be on national TV to the whole world to tell me, the person you're married to, that you changed your face? What? How does that make sense?
The thing is, she's been like thinking, but she kind of knew. So she knew this whole time that obviously the kids do look like us because I've changed my face.
Yeah, but doesn't tell
So
him.
she's known this whole time, and then
And
you
it doesn't
waited
tell
until
him.
you're on live national TV on a big show to then be like, "Oh yeah, teehee, I changed my face." And
So
it's like,
she didn't need to come here. All she had to do was like, oh,
yeah, show him the picture, and it'll
this
be
is
like,
a picture. Look,
result.
this is me before I got my plastic surgeries. These are our children.
"These are our kids."
Would have been over.
Job done.
I think he still would have tried to get out of it somehow, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
we would have tried to find a way.
but at the same time, that would have solved all the problems. Why did she have to wait to come here to disclose that information to her husband?
This is a trap.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Let's carry on.
only been
I
with one
understand
man.
you are really the
Okay, so
mother.
you're gonna tell me that you married this woman simply because of the way she looks?
Yes, I married
In
her
other
just
words,
because it
you
was
did not
beautiful.
like.
No.
You didn't like her personality.
Don't have a personality because it changed the face.
You know, at this point,
I think he
Oh,
miss-
you're an idiot.
No, yeah, he took that. He heard that the wrong way. Like it's like the personality he thought is like being her the way
Yeah.
she. But
The personality is still the same. She's just got a different face. Nah, he was wrong on that part.
yeah. But anyway, he married her for her looks, and I think she married him for his looks.
I mean, it's
also
obvious.
because-
Come on, let's
Yeah.
try not to BS. She
Yeah.
didn't marry him because Jafondo was a freaking great guy. Used to put his coat on the floor for her.
Let's carry on.
think anymore. I have the paternity test results. I'm gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna find out if you're the biological father of this child. The DNA test.
Why? Where is
Just let
why?
her-
Yo, he does not want this DNA test. Why? Don't do it. Stop. You're going to ruin it.
The kids are yours, son. They're your fans. You're gonna have to pay them. You gotta spend time with them.
Yeah, they're your ugly genes. Your genes are the ones that went. Let's carry on.
Things I really hope they don't get his
Why?
personality.
Don't-
This is
you
going-
don't- you don't ask me
This
for
is going
DNA
to
test.
show you that the children have your blood, your DNA, your
Yes, I
makeup
understand
in there.
But who the DNA test? Why? I don't write nothing for DNA test.
Shush.
Luciano, one of the
Sandra
children.
Sylvan.
Okay, 99.9998%. You are the father.
That's the one. Let's find out the other one.
Silvana, 99.9998%.
Oh, she's like, finally, he knows.
These are your biological and legal children, and you should be proud of them. and you should love them dearly with all your heart, and you should spend time with them, and you should
Judge.
really spend a lot of time with them, because you need to shed a little bit of that.
Yo, he's giving up. He's like,
You ain't winning yet, Chief. You ain't winning yet.
It's
You know, the
like
DNA says they're yours. The crowd says they're yours.
all right,
woman's-
that's it for the video. Everything else isn't really. Actually, is there anything else important? I don't think anything important.
Mundane
Yeah.
part of you. You should be a little more sentimental. You should see that the beauty is not in the physical, but the beauty is in the inside, is in the heart, is in the way a person develops, it's in their
True,
character,
true.
it's in their actions, it's in
I like
being
it, I like it.
compassionate, it's in being loving. And maybe you should learn that from your children, because apparently you are growing up to be a very empty man.
He
And you
grew
know
up.
what happens to
to
empty
be.
men?
Yeah.
At the end, they stay very lonely. You're the kind of man that when they grow old, that's when they look for their children. That's when they want
Yeah.
their company, right?
A lot of
That's
men
when
are
they
like
seek.
that.
And that's
And
going to
women.
be late. If you don't start now, tomorrow they are not going to want to spend time with you. So change your attitude. Apologize. Okay, I'm ready to rule.
My guy's like, no,
No, not today.
no, yeah, I'm good.
You
It's
will
her, but you know what?
continue paying your-
I kind of want to follow that story, like, understand what happened after all this.
Ah, yo, we should, yeah.
You are going to pick up your children Fridays at 6 p.m. and you're going to keep them with you until Sunday at 6 p.m. when you will return them to mom. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All
For me,
right.
no.
It'll free 2 of your weekends.
Yes.
For me,
so
it's
that
not
you
okay.
you can breathe. You need to as well.
Yes.
My guy's like, for me, no, not okay.
No,
All
no.
right? You follow what I'm telling you, you're going to be fine. And open your heart. Stop being so hard. I know you understand what I'm saying. But when you act like a real man, then you become the real beautiful man that you may be. And that's the way.
I feel like he's kind of accepted it now. He knows for the fact that there is kids. I feel
Yeah,
like a
I
bit
feel like
of
it's one of
him
those things. It's one of he's not yet. It's not like he yet hit properly, but he's starting to like ease into it.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, it's like, yeah, man. End of the day, my kids in it. But we'll have to check up on him and see
Hey, I rule.
if he keeps up with it. No, let me just stop streaming.
She took him back to court week after, and it was like he's not doing.
We saw from my guy. So at the end of it, he had to either carry on paying the 450 and spend some time with his kids, taking up 2 weekends after summer, after Christmas. I guess he did that because if he didn't do that, he had to pay 700.
I was expecting the kids to be a lot more.
Yeah, they're cute though, aren't they? They don't even.
Yeah, they're not that bad. I think you guys remember they're gonna grow up with the mix of him and the mother, and it's like she wasn't that like bad beforehand.
He's my my thing. The thing with this is, I gotta heavily agree with my guy in the fact that she should have not getting married and stuff. Come before having the kids, she should have disclosed that she had plastic surgery. Like that's information that's like, yes, she can change her face, she can do all that, and then that's her. But when it comes to the kids, she can't change her DNA. That's always gonna go into the kids. Before
Yeah.
you have kids, you have to disclose. It's the same thing. Is say you wanted to have kids with someone. It's the same as wanting to know the medical history. Like let's say
Yeah.
that they're gonna have like a harmful disease or a genetic default that the kid was 100% gonna get. Let's say the kid was gonna born where they will just like be in extreme pain constantly, or they will be born without like legs. I don't know, or they'll be born with something that would harm the child, or that would happen to the child that you didn't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing as saying if you have extreme plastic surgery and you look completely different, you need to disclose that information. That
Prepare them beforehand before they end up finding
yes,
out
and
later.
whether they decide if they want to do it or not. Like if I want to have kids with you, I need to know your medical history. Simple as that, because I don't want to see my kids suffering. You know what I mean? If let's
Yeah.
say you grow up suffering because of something you got from your parents, and you knew you were gonna give that to your kids, That's where you decide whether you're gonna want to have kids or not, whether you want to put your kids through that the whole lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a decision you both have to make. You can't just not tell someone like your medical history when you're married. Like that's something they're gonna have to know, because you then have to decide together, do I want to put my kid through that? And that's where I have to agree with my guy heavily, that she should have discussed the whole, oh, I had plastic surgery, like a lot of plastic surgery before getting pregnant, before getting married, probably before getting married too, because like what if you wanted kids then later down the line? Because getting married is calm. You're seeing that person for who they are now, and that personality, whatever, is so great. But then when it comes to having kids, that's everything from both parents is going to go into those kids. So you have to give that information.
The cards need to be on the table.
They need to be. And this is why I say I have to heavily agree with him when he says, well, you deceived me. Like we have kids that I don't like. I think they're ugly monsters. Because you didn't tell me you were a different woman before we freaking, appearance-wise, before we got freaking thingy, married, and then had these kids literally 4 months after getting married. Even though you said you're on birth control, but decided to just not take it.
See, I'm deeply conflicted because I'm on the fence here. On one part,
but you have to agree that she should have told him before the kids.
See, that's why I'm like, I agree about that part, but I also agree for that part. I also agree because of another reason. Thing is, if you lied about, or not lied, but if you didn't divulge the truth about obviously having the major, it wasn't even minor, it was major at this point. It was major plastic surgery.
Yeah, she's a little different.
So if you didn't tell the truth about having major plastic surgery, and then, so what's birth control to you then? You know what I mean? Would you have actually told him if you were taking it? Could she have technically been withholding the truth if she missed?
That's a good point.
If she missed 2 weeks of birth control, would she have told him? Or would that to her been like, it's only 2 weeks, it's not going to make a difference. See, baby comes out.
From her character of not telling him about this information about plastic surgery and being looking very different. What else is she not telling him? What else is she keeping a secret, or just deciding it's not important, like he shouldn't have to know? Like, everyone does it. Like that's one thing that also hit me. Like she just took it as everyone does it, doesn't matter. Like it matters. Things matter in a relationship. You have to be able to be
even if it doesn't feel big, just tell him. Just be like, oh, by the way, I've just can we wrap up today? Because obviously he stated he didn't want kids. Although obviously at the end of it, once they're born, as I'm saying, take your responsibility.
No, once you're pregnant, born, like straight up pregnancy, as soon as she's pregnant,
take your responsibility. Yeah, but I mean, like obviously he was in denial, but once they're born, he should have taken responsibility. But the thing is, no matter what, obviously I didn't agree with his reasoning for it. Like his kids were ugly. So what, mate? Get over it.
Yeah, so what?
They'll grow into it. They're gonna be beautiful children eventually. But the thing is, I'm there on that fence where it's like the judge didn't even bring it up.
They're cute anyway. They weren't even ugly.
Yeah, they were cute. But the thing is, it really had me going because I thought the judge would at least bring it up, like at least ask her the question, like, so then since you lied about it, or since you didn't tell the truth about plastic surgery,
did you take the pill?
Did you really take your pills? Like, just tell us now.
Because we don't know. She never asked her. All she was doing. Exactly. I think she was trying to. I think his attitude also backfired.
Yeah, I mean,
she was just trying to heavily take him down instead of like getting the full story from both sides. Because we didn't get the full story. We didn't get it. It was just simple of. You know what?
That's why I'm saying that's why I'm at the fence, because I'm obviously like I agree with the judge's ruling of he should take care of his kids. They're your kids. Take care of them.
100% agree with that.
But at the same time, I'm also like, so has this guy literally, was it just a 1% unlucky chance, or has she devised it a little bit and things have gone and happened, and it's just if she didn't take it, she could have just told the truth. I'm sure he would have understood. You could have done something about it.
I don't think he would have understood. He would have been.
I feel like maybe it was a situation like he seemed like towards the end. He
seems like a reasonable guy, though. You know what I mean?
I feel like he would have been reasonable. He could have found a way to talk it through. But honestly, I feel like she might have waited until it was a bit late to tell him, being a bit terrified because she knew she'd miss this out.
She didn't want to lose him. You can tell she didn't want to lose. She wanted to hold on to him and like keep him there.
So I'm sitting on the fence at the moment. I can't give it to her, and the judge, I can't give it to him either. I'm just like, on one point,
instance, there is no there is no right person. That
Yeah,
I
there
feel
is
like,
not
although
really a
the
right person,
crazy
yeah.
thing here, I gotta say, I feel like he's more in the right than she is. You know, like I know it's crazy to say the way his attitude makes him look like a really bad guy, but at the
Yeah.
same time, he's way more in the right than she is right now. I feel like because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
paying, he's still paying, and he agreed to do the thing that he was told to do in the end. He's a reasonable guy. I feel like he'll do it, but I also got to check up on it and then get back to the people with it. At the same time, like his attitude is out of order. He needs to sort that out. She didn't disclose what she looked like. Kids got born looking different, and he was confused. And she didn't help him understand that she had plastic surgery, so the kids are gonna look different. How can you let your freaking kids be born without telling the man, oh, by the way, I don't really look like this genetically.
I thought
The
it was
kids are
something
gonna
that
look
would come
different.
up, especially like when
Yeah.
you know you had the talk. Like you knew he's all about
No,
looks.
the
Like she
first
knew this from the
time.
get go.
The first time he says, these kids don't look like me. They don't look like you. What's going on? Surely you would be like, oh, I had plastic surgery. I looked different.
Yeah.
Why would you be like,
clearly
no,
didn't
they
want
do.
to tell him.
Oh, trust me. They're mine. They're yours. Trust me. Yes. They're ours. Trust me. How can you not be like, oh, I had plastic surgery. Look, there are our children. Stop being ridiculous. Oh, no, not even being ridiculous. It's not being ridiculous. They don't look like their mother. So it would be like, oh, yeah, they are. Oh, honey, by the way, I had plastic
I
surgery.
mean, no wonder the guy thought she cheated. It was
yeah.
questionable as shit, bro. The kids did not look like either.
The
of
mother,
and it is
bro.
that kind of
they
thing
look
where
like
it's
the
like
dad a lot, though, I think.
they had like some quite a few similarities with him. But the thing is, when they don't look like you, the thing is, if they don't look a bit like them, I always feel like kids have like a kind of similar kind of bit of both parents. They have a nice little mix. Some kids do strongly take from one parent
Yeah.
rather than the other, but usually you do get that mix where it's like, oh yeah, I can see both your mom and dad in there. Like for the longest time as a kid, people used to be like, you know, I can see both, but you do look a lot like your mom. And then now, obviously, because my hair is growing through and my beard's coming through, people usually be like, oh, you look like your dad more now. But when I shave, people do still be like, you know, you got your mom and I can still see your mom coming through. But it's like with them, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
there's the dad, but there's a very hard missing element of the mom to end up being like, is it just some random dude who ends up looking a bit like the dad? But maybe she just had a type where she just like went for guys that looked like him. And it was just, yeah, so it was a bit all thrown around. But nah, I think there was too many secrets kept.
At the end of
Fish.
it, I think when you're not in a relationship, when you're not in a relationship or you're in a relationship, it doesn't really matter to you not giving up that information. But when it comes to like getting married, and you know, or you're in a relationship and you know you're gonna spend the rest of your life with that person, I feel like you should give that information up. You know what I mean? I feel not give it up. I feel like you should. What's the word? Disclose. Like, you know what? You should talk. You should communicate together.
Communicate.
He should give
You know
you.
what? I
Yep.
see all these posts about communication. This communication.
Nah,
this is
so
the
you
perfect thing of like this is communication. If they had communicated from the get go, you would have known if that person was good enough, was good for you, was the right person, was it the person you wanted to marry. I feel like they shouldn't have got married. Like the judge was saying, they shouldn't have got married in the first place. But because they didn't communicate, she wasn't truthful. The other people out there, she would have found the right dude who would have been accepting of her past, accepting of her now.
Exactly.
And when the kids came out, he would have been accepting of the kids. Right now, she'd be happily married, but because she decided not to communicate that, you know, he communicated on his part. That's why actually, that's why I agree with you.
So I
On his
mean,
part,
he communicated exactly what he
everything.
wanted every
He put it
time,
on paper.
always.
He didn't hide anything.
She
Everything
hid
was on
everything.
paper for him, and she was hiding things. So it is about communication and trust. All these people who are like communication and trust need to watch this now because this is all
Yes.
about it. This is basically the
I
fundamentals
think communication
of
is the
and
most
trust.
important thing in a relationship. 100%. By far, communication, most important.
If you can't communicate, if you can't trust each other, things like this happen. You end up divorced and fighting about the kids because things weren't put on paper, bro. We want these facts. Facts. They're not
Thank you
just about
guys
kids.
so much for watching another great KW podcast. More coming out soon. And we'll
Hashtag
catch you in the next one. Any last thoughts?
Hashtag no babies. Peace,
Hashtag-
boys.
Yo, hashtag, listen, if you're going into a relationship, just be honest to each other. Let your other partners know, like, what's going to happen to the kids if you get pregnant, it's going to happen. Like, that's something that should be important. If a guy has something in his family that he knows is going to affect the children, or a woman has something that's going to affect the children, let the other person know, because they might not be down for that, and you can't judge them for it. That's fair. It's a fair thing. They might not want their kids to be born with certain things that's gonna harm them, or certain things that they just don't want for their children. People want their children to have certain aspects. Like, it's not gonna be like. Obviously, there's genetic variance, and kids are gonna look different anyway. But there's certain things that are gonna be 100% be getting from that person that if they don't want, they don't want. You can't judge them for it. Anyway, peace.
This is a
Thank
long
you.
hashtag.